Hello, so today I'm going to talk about household spirits of the Saxons. So, across the Germanic world, there was a once widespread belief that every farm, every home, and every stable and barn had unseen spirit living within it. These spirits were thought of as they could be good or they could be bad. If you respected them, they might help with chores during the night, protect the livestock, watch over the grain, or warn the family of danger. But if you insulted them, mocked them, or treated your home poorly, they could become mischievous, hiding tools, making strange noises, tangling horse manes, or causing endless little annoyances. To many families, these weren't fairy tales, they were simply part of the unseen world. One thing is interesting that cobalt wasn't necessarily the word that was used. Cobalt is really a High German umbrella term for many different kinds of house spirits in Lower Saxony, especially where my family comes from, around Landkreis Uelzen. People more commonly use their own Low Saxon names. The most common that I heard as a child was Puk. Another was Nispuk. And then there's another one that I heard also, Hodeecken. And so while modern books often call them all kobolds, that would be a bit like calling every dog simply a dog instead of specifying a Rottweiler or Doberman or Pitbull or different types. So that means if my ancestors, for example, were sitting around speaking their dialect of Plattdeutsch, they would have talked about a Puk or a Niespuk, not a kobold. So these spirits were believed to help with everyday work. People said they swept the floors after everyone had gone to bed. They fed livestock. They watched the barns. Some even believed they churned butter or finished chores during the night. But they expected respect in return. Many traditions tell of leaving a little bowl of milk, porridge, or bread as a gift. Interestingly, there was also a warning: never try to pay the spirit wages. Never give it clothing. According to many stories, doing so would offend the spirit, causing it to leave forever. Now, I'd like to share my own interpretation. This isn't something we can prove historically. It's simply how I understand these old stories through my own view and experiences in life. The Gebo rune, exchange of energy, gift, reminds us that in Germanic culture, a gift was never just an object. A true gift created a relationship. Hospitality created friendship. Oath created loyalty. Offerings created a bond between humans and the gods. A gift was always carried an obligation of mutual respect. Perhaps this is why the Puk accepted milk, bread, or porridge, but rejected money. The food wasn't payment, it was Gebo, a sacred exchange of energy. The family gave nourishment, gratitude, and respect. The spirit gave protection, prosperity, and help around the farm. Neither owned the other. Both participated in a relationship of mutual giving. Money, however, is different. Money turns a relationship into a transaction. It says, your work is finished, here is your payment. But perhaps the Puk was never a servant to begin with. Perhaps it was a guardian. Trying to pay it wages symbolically reduced a sacred relationship into a business arrangement. And so the spirit left. The clothing taboo may carry a similar meaning. Clothing is deeply connected to human identity and social status. Perhaps giving clothing to a Puk symbolically released it from its role as guardian of the household. Its work was completed. Its bond with the family had ended. Again, this is only my personal interpretation, but I find it fits nicely with the symbolism of the Gebo rune and the Germanic idea that relationships were built not through ownership but through reciprocal gifts. Upper Saxony has its own traditions as well, where I live now, in Upper Saxony. Here too, stories tell of household spirits protecting homes, hiding tools when angered, and making unexplained noises. In the Ore Mountains, similar beliefs developed into famous mining spirits, showing how these old traditions adapted to different ways of life. This raises a question: where did these spirits come from? Many folklorists believe they may preserve fragments of much older Germanic beliefs. Perhaps they were once understood as protective land spirits. Perhaps they were connected with the Elben, the elves, or perhaps they were thought of as ancestral spirits that remained with the family and watched over the household. No one can say for certain, but many people tend to agree that these traditions likely preserved elements of the pre-Christian Germanic religion. So personally, I find it interesting that while the old gods became less openly worshipped after Christianization, the little spirits of everyday life survived much longer. People continued telling stories about them, and farmers spoke of them in the barns. Parents warned children not to disrespect them, and in many villages these beliefs lasted well into the 19th century. So that's my little video about the house and barn spirits. Tschüss.